everybody. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, welcome. Welcome everybody. I'm trying to give everybody time to get back in here. If you have a question, put it up so I can get to it. I'm gonna try to get to it. I tried to get to y'all early tonight because y'all know I'll be on here all night. What time is it, Neve? Oh, it's early. Hey, boo. Welcome, welcome. Uh-oh, shoe goddess. Oh, shit. You got dragged. You guys have got to get into the habit of having good music. Hey, Joe Blanzi, bendiciones. Having music playing in your households, right? I really need you guys to... Yeah, I get mounted all the time. They jump me all the time. Modern Griot. They don't care. Love from Brooklyn. Was looking forward to your next life. Thank you, Miss Simone. Yeah. My ladies, listen, when they be like, move. Let me say it. I got time for you. Listen. Why is it that now I'm waking up? My energy, everybody want to touch me. Because your head ain't covered. I know. When's the last time you cleaned yourself? Can I create? Who's touching you? They like get up and go listen to something because what you've been doing. Get you some of this music. I don't even know what that is. It's there. Someone asked if there is a correct way to feed the earth your menses. That is not something that we do in any of the practices that I am affiliated with. It's not a feeding of the earth, and this is why. We say we don't do an ebo on top of an ebo. Now, an ebo is a cleansing, if you will, correct? So when our bodies naturally cleanse itself once a month as women to take out all the toxins and all of the things that need to be released. We as women carry a lot of things in our wombs, a lot of our pain, a lot of our traumas are carried in our wombs. And so as women, to be as strong as we are, that is part of one of the ways that our bodies automatically, being in sync with Earth's energies and Mother Earth and the universe and the cycles of the moon, right? Cleanse ourselves automatically from the toxins and things that must leave our bodies. We don't feed that to the earth. When we do things to feed the earth, I have native in my bloodline. We feed it grains. We feed the earth seeds. We feed the earth sometimes flesh, but red meats, birds, things of that nature. Right? We feed the earth fruits and vegetables. We feed the earth in that way. We don't feed the earth because a feeding is something that the earth can consume. When we put these things, that's compost, if you will, back into the earth, which allows the earth to then grow the flowers and the plants and the trees and all of the things that nature provides. Blood from our body that has been discarded of negative energies is not something that we feed back into the earth. That is not our practice. So for the person who asked that, I don't know what you practice or what you follow, but for that's not something that I do. When I think of the earth, I think of giving it back things that it can use. And things that it have been dispelled from my body is not one of those things. I don't want to feed back the earth negativity. I want to feed back the earth things that help it to grow and to flourish. Okay. Someone asked me, how do you know if it is okay to do an African tradition religion if you are not Black or African? Someone from the African traditional religion and energy has to have stepped forward and said, I claim this soul. I claim this person. They're supposed to be over here working. They know your spirit. Spirit recognizes spirit. It has no bearing on the color of your skin in this walk. This is a suit. So what has your spirit done? What did your spirit come here to do? How old is your spirit? How many Black people are in your bloodline? Right? Because y'all, we in there. Okay? Right? If you are of Mexican descent, if you go back far enough, oh, they were brown as hell. So because on the surface, you don't believe, oh, this is not my tradition. This is not. If you go back far enough, somebody somewhere that made a deal with somebody that links you into that. They always come and call for you. When you have these misas, when you have these spiritual investigations, when you have these, even a reading sometimes, an energy will step forward and say, hey, this one's mine. You have to, they got to call for you. That's how you know. They'll step forward for you and claim you. Spirit, again, recognizes spirit. It has nothing to do with the color of your flesh. Some people are white people that just happen to be white, but spirit-wise, you go look back a couple of generations, they were something else, right? So spirit recognizes spirit. This is where the past life stuff comes in. This is where getting into your bloodline comes in. Just because you see one thing on the surface doesn't mean that if you go back far enough, something in your line linked you to that, and they will step forward and claim you. And you must remember that if you had native Indians, right? The slaves passed through those territories because once they got to the native lands, they were free. In certain tribes, they would replace their tribe's children after the white people done killed them and go and take their kids and keep them, right? That's how they would do. So lineages and lines cross over many different generations and many different spectrums. Just because what you see on the flesh, that's not always what it is. That's why we do the spirit part, because spirit knows more than what anybody else can tell you. They're going to tell you what I see back here. How can we find out about our past lives? Some people do past life readings. I don't personally do those things because I feel like your past life there, that's nice, but you fucking up now. So let's worry about that. Different people do past life readings. I'm not one of those people who do those things, so I don't know who you would go to for that. I don't know. If somebody knows somebody that's reputable, put it up. We'll check them out. Again, anybody that you get to these things, you check them out first. Ask your ancestors. I knew someone who did certain things, but listen, and this is another thing. If I ever tell you to go somebody, please check with me again if it's been a year and you haven't done nothing with those people, because sometimes their situations change, right? And if I have stepped into your path, in your spiritual path, and have shepherded you one way, and that's no longer the way for you to go, I'm gonna tell you. So ask me. Find a hypnosis and get a past life regression or get a reading done. People are human and they are flawed and they are erred. So some are erred in way. So sometimes someone will start off as being very good and then things happen and they lose their way. And I get wind of it and you ask me, I'm going to tell you that that's not the person that I will be sending you to at this time. Try someone else. If I sent you to them to buy something from their store or to buy something from this or that, I didn't tell you to go connect your spirit with that person. I didn't even tell you to go to them for a reading. I told you to go buy a bath, a candle, this or that. The only people that I send people to here is Alex, which is at Briumbo Congo 7, and Jess, which is at the Healing Healer. Other than my family members, Underneath the Blush, Aqua Ashe, those are the ones. That's it. So that's how you know if it's okay to do that. You mentioned this on a live one time. Hey, Cyrus. Someone asked me that this is what they said. I was told that not letting spirit in will drive you crazy. I feel I don't know the difference and you feel crazy. What spirit? Who's the spirit? When you say letting them in, what do you mean? Are you in a organized, safe setting for you to allow spirit to mount you? Is that what we're speaking of? I got a lot of questions where that question is concerned. You guys can't just be letting spirit mount you. I remember I was speaking to a young lady who was new to her spiritual walk and finding her gifts and all this other kind of stuff, and she was very much intuitive, right? She did nothing to cleanse herself. She did nothing to protect herself. She didn't have her ancestors set up. She didn't take baths. She didn't cleanse herself. She didn't cover her head. None of these things. And she was connecting with people's energies and spirits, right? Of course she got jumped. Of course, their spirits mounted her, not her spirits. The other people's spirits were mounting her. That's a problem. Your people are not supposed to be mounting me. I got my own. You tell them and they tell me. You're not allowed to ride me. My guides came here to do that, to work with me. They have access. Not your people. I don't know you. That's dangerous. I had a new guide step forward a little while ago, and she did it so smooth, right? But her dialect and her energy was so different that my spirit jumped in and was like, who is this? My main guide jumped in. She was like, hey, who this? Right? So then she flipping on her, telling her, nah, that's not how you do it. You come here with respect. Announce yourself. She had to show me her. Right? So I knew who she was because I know I got her, but she never mounted me before. Just like that, when it's in line, when your people are in line, when you are in line and vibrating at the right way, they check them real quick. Like, nah, B, even though she was mine. And I know her. But I never felt her like that before. They checked her at like, you got one sentence in and then she got jumped. Like, hold up, homie. Nah. Once she did it the right way, they let her back in. And she said what she had to say and then she went on about her business. But there's a rule and a boundary that must be set with spirit. So if you're in a safe setting like a Misa, because remember, we have to call on the prudent and benevolent spirits. We have to call on the higher elevating spirits. We're calling on those that God, and when we call and sing to them, we're asking for them to come down from the heavens, not from nothing else. I need the ones that come through in light. When I say a spirit comes through and you ask them, who are you and how do you come, they better tell you. If it's not under the umbrella of the Most High, Olodumare, God, Olofi, pick a name, boo, I don't care, something that represents God. They better say some shit like that or else get it out of here. Backtracks to, should I be connected with my ancestors? You motherfucking right you should, because that's your first line of defense. How they made it through that line. If they strong, they shouldn't be making it through there. If the next batch of your team, your guides that you've been working through your Bovada and all this other stuff, how they made it through there? That's a problem. That's 2 lines of defenses you're supposed to have set before you start trying to have somebody mount you. I am new to my spiritual journey and I feel like I'm being pulled towards discovering more and more, but I want to be in the right path and way. It's something that can't be avoided at this point. You start with your ancestors, love. What they did is what you will eventually flow into. So if you already feel crazy, then that means that you're not doing the right things as far as the foundation is concerned. You're not cleaning yourself. You're not washing your head. You're not praying to your Ori, which is your most high self, first and foremost, right? Because your Ori must allow everything to come through. If it is dangerous, your Ori shouldn't be allowing it through. So we do these prayers. If you're feeling crazy, then it's not something that you should be allowing access to you. When my spirit comes down, I don't feel crazy. I know their energy. I know how it feels. Crazy is not the definition. Different, yeah. Hot, yeah. Electric, yeah. Strong, oh. Depends on, you know what I'm saying? Crazy, never. Never. And if you had mental illness that ran in your family, you have to figure out your bloodline, because we don't need those that were not correct here to take on to your spirit. No, remember, that's your bloodline. That stuff runs in your family, in your genes, in your DNA. You don't want those. You want to pray to your prudent and benevolent and elevated guides, ancestors, and spirits to come through, not nothing else. You ask them to keep them at the fence. They don't get to come through. They get to pass a message through Big Mama, Big Papa, or whoever is the matriarch of your family on that other side that was keeping the family in line, and let them safely pass a message through them to you. They don't gain direct access. No, they need elevation. They need help. They need work. That's not for you to do in your house with that person. No, that's dangerous. That's not what we do. Okay? Whew. Ow, thank you, TKO Boutique. Different, definitely, but never crazy. That's right. It shouldn't feel crazy. Someone asked me, they keep having a web that shows up in their water when they change it. What kind of is it a spider web? Is it showing you a web? What are you doing? Whose glass is it? I didn't really get a clear indication on what it is. If you have spiders, clean your house. You may need to change your bowl of them more often. Webs, right? What's going on in your life? Right. It could be a warning of a trap. Things get entangled in spider webs. If they keep showing you a spider web and you don't got no spiders and it just looks like a web to you, but it keeps ringing off web, where's their trap being set for you? Are you setting it for yourself? You gotta ask some questions and ask them to talk to you in your dreams. Clean your head. Right, so grandma better be at that gate. We have to think, right? Entanglements. What's happening? If your life is dusty. Well, if you're entangled and your life was probably dusty, right? Clean it up all the way around. Not just in the physical, spiritual, all of that. You know when you're in stuff that you shouldn't be in. You know when you're dealing with people that you shouldn't be dealing with. You know when you need to free yourself. Don't allow your ego, your lack of confidence, your lack of whatever it is that's going on in your world, allow you to be ensnared. I had to start over with the altar. Why this time? I don't know. Connection. I had to start over with altar. Why this time? I don't know. Connection. Because you took it down and you broke the connection. Now you have to work to get that back. Why did you take it down? If it was not a good reason, they looking at you like, yeah, well, now you got to work twice as hard, aka Meiji, to get it back in order. Because you wasn't serious about it. I never take my altars down. If I take my altar down, it's because I'm cleaning it and I don't let it go 20 minutes. I'm putting the shit to the side. I'm taking the cloth off. I'm cleaning it. I'm putting a new cloth on. I'm putting everything back on my altar. I'm not walking away. That's like, why did I have to end my cell phone contract before it was time? Pay the early termination fee. Now I gotta wait till I pay it to get the phone turned back on again. Oh, same process. Who told you to break your contract? Kind of simple. Okay, this last one's gonna brown me up. I'm trying. Let me get a sip. Why am I afraid to use my gifts to help me move up in the world? And why do I self-sabotage? Why do you have no confidence in what you're doing? The people that are helping you do it. I looked at, And I see that you do spiritual work, right? Creation, right? That's all done through your Egun, right? You don't know how to do none of that kind of stuff. Somebody in your lineage or one of your guides does that kind of work. You do beading, you do clothes making, and it's all spiritual based. How do you not trust yourself in your spirituality and you're doing things to offer to the spiritual community? I have a problem with that. Let me tell you why I have a problem with that. Do you feel that doubt when you're making these people's items? Do you feel that disconnected when because you're supposed to be putting your ashe into that and making this something grand for this person who's paying their money to receive something in a spiritual nature from you? How are you afraid? You're gifted. I've seen the work. It's not crappy work. It's good work. You dishonor those who are giving you the energy, the sight to do these things. You block yourself, and now you are absolutely sabotaging yourself because your business will never grow this way. You ask them for something and they give it to you, and you spit in their face when you sabotage yourself. You know why? They don't have to give you the sight. They don't have to give you the intuition. They don't have to work through you to do these things. But you're good at it. Why do you not feel that you should be able to prosper at this? Why do you look at it and see that it looks good and people are paying for it, and yet you still feel like this is not, I don't know. If you have no confidence in your work will not sell. Excuse me. If you have no confidence in what you're doing and no trust in what they're showing you, then it will not do what it is supposed to do. Because they haven't told you growing up, good job, you did well. Your guides, your spirits that work through you are giving you that because they're showing you what to do to make it work, what to do to bring it to completion. Now I must make it all come to fruition and put it out there. But if my energy doesn't trust me, it goes nowhere. When I sit to do my works, I know my guides are working with me. I know, sometimes I don't know I don't know how it's gonna come out, right? I'll get a flash of a picture. Partial. As I'm doing it, they take over. At the end of the day, I know that they the shit. Moving from a place of lack, this is a problem of mine. I've been told to move like I know my ancestors want me to win. They do want you to win. Why should you be moving or doing anything from a place of lack when it is for the abundance of it all? Those that are looking to get businesses going and find people to invest in them move like they already got it. That's how energy works. If I'm moving like I don't have it, what about my energy is telling the universe to rock with me? No. I'm lagging, the universe, all of the laggy energy is coming with me. That's not what I want. That's why I don't keep broke people around me. It takes 9 days, and it consults of putting them on the floor the first day, a candle and prayers. The next day, we put them on a toilet and so on. The 9th day, we put them in the altar. What are we talking about? Ancestor elevation? Okay. You also can go to a Catholic church and pay for a mass for your bloodline. The prayers from the people in the church will go towards your bloodline, and it helps them to elevate. There are different things. I don't know if you're in any kind of system, but listen, when the family comes together, the ancestors get loud. That is a true story. If you have family members that can come together and do kind of an ancestral Thanksgiving in August, if you will, y'all play music, all the families together, you light a candle, somebody does a prayer from the Bible, even if y'all can't be all together, video chat, do a chat at the same time and pray for the lineage at one time. That helps elevate them. Why just one? Okay. Anybody got any questions? I'm trying to catch up. It isn't, and sometimes you want something and nothing goes right. Those are signs of your ancestors willing that it's not your path. Right. You have to find out what your path is. You got to find out what it is that you're supposed to be doing, and you can't find out by sitting still. You got to try some things to see what works, right? And when I say try some things to see what works, I mean simple things. Some people sing, right? And some people's voices call the dead. That could be where your ashe lies. You wouldn't know that. But if you start singing the right songs and not WAP, worship and praise songs, hello, you might get a little something. Cover your heads, light a white candle, put a glass of water. Sometimes the simplest things are the best things for you to connect with spirit, but you have got to be consistent because they are looking at you. Part-time, they're going to treat you like a part-time worker. You don't get benefits when you work part-time. You don't get dental, you don't get medical, and you don't get vision when you're a part-time employee. And that's the same way spirit is looking at you. We will make sure that you don't die, but that's all we're giving you until you come full-time to work for this team. Respect the conglomerate. How about that? Listen, it is what we put into this, what we get out of it. If we put in more, we get back more. You know, and we can't only be doing it right. Spirit and WAP don't mix at all. Bloop. Y'all, listen, we got to worry about ourselves. We can't be worrying about everybody else and what they thinking and what they doing and all. Nobody cares. Everybody gets what's coming to them in due time. It is not for us to worry about when somebody gets something back. They are getting their tab tallied. Trust and believe. Because you don't see it, that's not for you to see. You are not here to call when somebody gets their ticket punched. But in my experience, that ticket always gets punched. Always. Right? And if, Amy, come on. And if you can't do the work, leave it alone. Stick with your ancestors. That's it. All you got to do is keep your ancestors lit. That's it. Don't touch nothing else. Don't bother nothing else. Don't get involved in nothing else. Don't look up nothing else. Don't nothing else. Ancestors is your lane. When you learn, because they're going to teach you. It ain't just the other guys that come through to teach you. Your ancestors, they gonna teach you. Is you ready or is you not? I don't know what it's so the fear of spirit that you have been ding dong, hello spirit here to always the front door service. Ding dong, hello spirit here to collect. That's right. You have got to not let others influence what it is that you're doing in your walk. Just because you see people out here claiming spirituality and they got their titties and their asses out, that's not right. Don't go do that. If you ain't start off doing that, don't start seeing them and thinking it's cool. That person's getting dragged behind doors. I'm telling you right now. They're hitting a wall. You know why? Because as much as I seen my grandmother walk around the house with no bra on and a slip because she loved to have her titties hanging out, that was in the house. How about that? I have the oldest of oldest madamas over here. The oldest of lady energies over here. 82% of y'all got them old ass madamas. You think that they with you out here wilding, talking about spirituality, with a sage stick in your hand and a candle lit with your booty in the camera? You are going to get dragged. Thank you. I wish I knew that before I set up a whole altar and then got my ass handed to me because I read one effing book. Y'all don't name the mistake, please. Hi. Listen, you still here, so you ain't get dragged the way that you could have got dragged doing that. And it gets dangerous when you set up these altars. Remember, people think that Orisha reside in statues. That's not how Orisha resides. So when you go and buy these statues out of the Botanica, if you flip the statue over, there's normally a hole somewhere at the bottom of that statue, right? And it's an empty vessel. Perfect place for a spirit to go in and chill and wait for you to take this statue home. You don't know how to wash that statue. You don't know how to clean that statue. Not only do you not know how to do any of these things, it's open at the bottom with a candle lit next to it and water sitting beside it. You're lighting the way, giving it a conduit and a place to reside, to receive all of the energy and offerings that you're giving to said statue, which that Orisha don't got nothing to do with that statue. Sometimes, in a spiritual setting, a misa or reading, an Orisha will step forward and say, I want you to have an image of me in your home. The person who told you that should be telling you how to cleanse that statue before you place it in your home. You've purchased this statue from a warehouse full of statues or a botanical store where spirit runs freely on a daily basis. A gazillion of wicked, dirty, dusty, crazy motherfuckers done ran through that botanical. And it's sitting there waiting for somebody like you who has no clue but saw an ocean in your dream and said, Yemaya was calling you. Go get this statue. Girl, bye. You have just brought some shit into your house. Be very careful and be very mindful. Ask everything and assume nothing when you're doing things with statues. We use nature's elements when we have these Orishas born. They must be born. Orisha is born. Someone's Orisha has to agree to birth you an Orisha. Born. It is born from one to the next. Do you understand when we get into this, when I say born and how your Egun and your ancestors and your bloodline, that is our African traditional system. Birth. Get it? This is why there is no way possible that you can enter into anything where Orisha is concerned and skip your bloodline. They birth you. If my Orisha must be birthed from someone else, then clearly those must be honored that I came birthed from. No? Learn a little something, guys. You cannot buy that. It must be birthed from something, which means it's now created from nature's elements. There are things from nature that must go into these receptacles that make up the speck of energy from the Orisha that they've allowed you to have access to work with their energies within this walk. Birth from. So if that doesn't tell you alone that your ancestors need to be first because you were birthed from them, there's a problem. Sin muerto no hay santo. English, Miss Gitana, I don't know what that means. Be very careful is always my bottom line message. Be very mindful is always my bottom line message. If it don't feel right, it ain't right. If it ain't clicking, sit down. Do all that you can to find out who your people were, and then be ready for what happens when you knock on those doors. You are going to be asked to make a change in your life very quickly. This year has been moving at warp speed where spirituality is concerned across the board, right? This is your window of opportunity. If you miss it, you miss it, right? Everybody's not going to continue to reach back to try to help pull you forward. We're giving you the floor to do it now. And if you don't get on this train, you miss it, right? Lessons repeat. Opportunities don't always, though, do they? Sometimes when it's your time to receive that opportunity, you got to get on it then. If you miss it because of your own inability to structure, focus, and do the right things, that's your loss and you're bad. You can't blame nobody else for that missed opportunity. It presented itself to you. You were not ready. Only Babalaos consecrate Orishas, and they won't do that for you if they have some respect for Orula. Yeah, you have to, once Ifa reads it and it says you need it, then they make it up. Some santeros make eleguas as well. Not only the Babalaos make the eleguas, but some santeros do it as well. I had to have received this, I have multiple eleguas. Like when my girlfriend's case, she was like, yo, I've never seen somebody with so many eleguas in their house. I had to have some made from both Ocha and both Ifa. So I have some that come both ways just to make sure that I'm covered, because in my walk in dealing with different people come with different stuff. So I have to be covered on both ways. All my roads got to be open for all of them. So I got mad eleguas. However, they are ceremony based. They are done the traditional ways. They have been birthed. They have been fed. They have been made. You can't buy an elegua from a store. Absolutely not. Where the ashes going? When I make my ahas for Baba, anything that, like a cleansing tool, right? An aha, which is the brooms that Baba Luaye and Nanu Buruku use, those tools are used to cleanse. There are ashes that we place inside the broom itself, right? That allows it to be able to have the power to cleanse the person when the person is mounted with Baba Luaye, for him to use that to cleanse with, right? People do and sell and all kinds of different things, and they don't know the story behind what's in it. Same thing with the Orisha. There's something that goes in it. That's why you can't buy it from a store, and it's specific to you. Is it true you can't get initiated in Ifa in the USA? That's not true. You can get initiated in Ifa in the USA if you have. And when you say initiated into Ifa, what do you mean? Your hand of Arumala, your Kofa, or to become a Babalao? Which part? But no, if you find the right house and the right Babalaos that are here in the U.S., because I know a gang of Babalaos here in the U.S. that's in New York, that they can do what you need to do. They know the right people. But they consecrate them or they birth them, because the Santeros birth the Otas. Babalaos don't have to birth them. The Otas. It depends on the system, Emmanuel. But they consecrate them or they birth them because the Santeros birth the Otas. Listen, if we're talking Orisha, right? A Babalao can't birth Obatala. He can't birth that to you to be crowned, if this is what we're talking about. When you go to be crowned, a Babalawo can't be the one who gives their Orisha to be birthed in that ceremony. It has to come from a Santero or a Santera. It can't come from a Babalawo when you're going to get crowned. Their Orisha has to birth you, not a Babalawo. We're talking crowning. So it really depends on what ceremony you're referring to, how that Orisha is being presented to the person, because remember, there you can get them to the head, which is the crowning, and then some of them you can receive to your hands, which is washed. And then certain Orisha don't go to your head, they only go to your hand because the systems of doing it have been lost during the slave trade, right? So for instance, they'll never put Olokum on your head here in the U.S. If you go to Africa, they have some people that know the traditions and the secrets of how to put Olokum on your head, as well as a Ganyu. They won't do it here in the U.S., but if you go to Nigeria, they have people who know the secrets that will put a Ganyu on your head. But if you do it here, they'll give you Shango or something like that. So it really depends on where, how. They done made up all types of different ways to do different things. Of you remove a statue from your home, will the entity leave with it? No, Eric, it will not. You've fed it, you've given it your energy, you've welcomed it and allowed it into your house. Simply taking the statue out does not remove that entity from your home. No, it will not. Is it possible to just sit in on, observe a Misa, or do you have to be initiated into a practice or be the one getting a reading? No, you just have to be invited to a Misa to be part of it. So remember, when you walk in there, they're going to call your card too, because they know you sitting there trying to listen, and that's when they're going to pick up something in your life and tell it all in front of everybody. So be prepared for that. You don't have to be initiated to be part of a Misa. You don't have to be spiritually inclined to be part of a Misa. You have to be there looking to get some information on your walk. Period. That's it. And if you know somebody and they'll allow you to come and sit, they'll let you sit, because you need it. It helps to elevate your spirit. It helps to elevate your dead, and it helps to elevate your guides. And that current allows them to come closer to you, because that's what this is, shared space of energy that's going around. Am I able to sit at my Boveda and ask my spirit for insight in how one of my best friends was found dead? What are you looking to do with that information? If that's your best friend, yes, V, we're doing Misas. Listen. We get cleansing from Orisha and spirit. We ain't worried about this pandemic. When they tell us we could do something, we move. I got all of the cleaners. I got all of the Orisha that does the cleansings. So I'm not worried about that. They are the pandemic. They good. What if you move? Will that entity move as well to another home, whether it's good or bad? Yes, Jazz. It's going with you. That is your new homie. You asked it to come into your house. Where you go, it goes. Good, bad, or indifferent. Yes, that is why we tell you not to invite stuff into your house. Why do you want to know how she went? If she was murdered, she did not go in a good way, right? Your anger does not help her. Your anger does not assist her in any way, shape, or form. Your goal should be to help her spirit to rest. Your goal should be to help her spirit to make sure that she finds her ancestors. Your goal is to help make her walk on the other side easier. So what do? We go to a Catholic church and light a candle for her and do a prayer and a mass for her to help her spirit elevate. We don't light anything for her in our house. We don't do anything for her in our home. We do it all at the church because you remember, they have to have time to process their death. Some people's energies work a smooth transition where this was their time and this was just the way that they needed to go in order to start or fix something else, right? Or complete something else, not fix, excuse me. So it is in helping her spirit to connect and her spirit to elevate. This is not about your human anger, right? She's no longer in this plane. So she's no longer here to have to deal with any of this stuff. Your worry should be about her spirit in the afterlife on the other side of that veil, to make sure that she's reached her people, so that she can elevate, so that she can come back and be a help to those that are still in the living, that she can help going forward in the future. But she needs time to process her death, to work through what she went through, and to connect with those that are on the other side to answer for, how did she get in this position in the first place? What happened in my walk that I got off path? You got to answer for all of that in death, regardless of how you left this plane. So our job is to make, this is why we do all of the things for our ancestors, so that when our people pass over, the playing field is already set. The people on the other side of that veil are strong. When that person passes over, somebody's standing at that gate to snatch him. Hey, we here. Come on, baby. Come on. Now we take you where you got to go. Transitions and levels and working through the things on the other side. Yes. You're welcome, my love. It's not about anger. Remember, anger, you can't do nothing with anger. Anger clogs the mind. Anger clogs the mental. What if the energy is going to move with you. You have to cleanse your house out, right? You have to. My Uncle Michael was found dead this morning. Call me. You have to tell Grandma Lewis to get him. She's strong. She comes through. We see her all the time. So, you light a white candle, a glass of water, put Grandma Lewis' name on that paper, and anybody, other ancestors on that side, to help him to find them so that he can elevate. Your prayers are not going to him. Your prayers are going to her to help him, because she's strong enough to go get him. So I'll call you later, but that's what you do for them, because Grandma Lewis is going to go get her baby. Oh, God. See? You see how? And that's my cousin. Yes, I moved from New York to Louisiana, and now I hear them louder and see them clearly. Huh? I keep having dreams of me being in Mesa, but no one has invited me. You have to, it's a full house cleaning, right? Thank you, baby. It has to be more than a year for, not for you to pray for somebody, for you. We don't call on anybody within the first year of their death. You give them prayer, you give them light, you give them energy, things of that nature, but we don't call on them or ask for them to do anything for us. You're welcome, Michelle. Sage does not do anything. Sage is weed for spirits. They'll smoke it like a blunt and put that shit out on your forehead. They don't care about sage. Old school. Frankincense, myrrh, dragon's blood. Floor washes. You need there's a botanica that I always post, because they do delivery, and they've been here in New York for over like 40 years. It's called Original Botanica. They sell fresh herbs and they deliver it to you, right? For you to clean your house, you need stuff like Espanta Muerte, right? That's go away evil, right? You need Rompe Saragüe, work breaker. You need Quita Maldición, go away evil. You need Santa Clara, the 23rd Psalms floor wash. Put them in the thing. You need rue. I'm talking about fresh herbs, right? You're putting this, you're going to take a bath with that shit, and you're going to put some to the side to put in a bucket, and you are going to get some kind of natural, get a bushel of bay leaves. If you, not bay leaves, basil, right? You get that from the supermarket in a bushel. You get the basil, and you dip it in that, and you beat your walls from the back of the house to the front of the house. You also put that in a in a bucket, and you mop your floors with it from the back of the house to the front of the house. You put on gospel music. You put on your white head covering and dress in all light colors. You order your ancestors ancestors and you do the 23rd Psalm, the 91st Psalm, and you pray to them. You do your Our Father prayer, Our Father who art in heaven, yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow, all them prayers, right? And you call in your ancestors and you tell them, come in here and help me clean my house. You light a white candle. You calling in prudent and benevolent and elevated spirit guides that walk with you in light. You invoke Saint Michael. You call in Saint Michael's light because that's what he did. It doesn't matter what you practice. It doesn't matter what you do. That is an angelic force. That is an ascended master. And what he comes to do is to clean out all disrespectful, negative energies. You don't care what level they came from. He's here to kill the beast. And he's the protector of 90% of homes. You do that. Back to front. You take your first morning's urine. You drink water that night. You get up in the morning and the first time you piss after 12 noon, you put it in a jar. You wipe your front door down front and back. And as you walking through your house, you saying, if you get out of here. If you are not of prudent and benevolent energy, if you are not of a light coming from the Most High, guided by Olodumare, God, Olofi, who you are not welcome here and you will leave my house at once. This is my domain. This is my house. You are not welcome here. Get out. That's what you do. Who gave you your apartment? What the hell? Hi, Shannon. Let me go back. Do we know what I Shannon is talking about? He gave her apartment. I missed it. Who gave you your apartment, I Shannon? I'm confused. Sage is never enough. Nobody cares about sage. That's white people shit. You know, it's cute. No. First of all, no. No. If you are not a native and you're smudging, you sage ain't working. Blood, dragon's blood, frankincense, myrrh, saltpeter. There's a gazillion different things. When you go to that Original Botanica website, it gives you options to check by what it is that you're trying to do. So you're doing spirit and protection, cleansing and protection. It gives you a whole list of stuff that you can buy, and it gives you explanations on what it is and how you utilize it. It gives you everything. That's why I thank you, Michelle. That is why I like that website, because they always give you the information that goes along so you know what it is that this particular herb does. You put that in a pot of water and you simmer it just till a little steam comes off the top, and then you let it cool off, right? You get some Efun, aka cascarilla, which is nothing but cracked up, ground down white eggshell powder. We use that in every tradition, in every system across the world. Sprinkle that in there. What do you do if you got people living with you who got weird energy and be bringing in wild energy? You piss your door the same way. You mark the whole outskirts of the door with cascarilla, and you let your intentions be known. If you got the spirits in there that's prudent and light and benevolent, and you're doing your work, they're going to make everything stop at that door and wait on the other side of it. Paris Hollywood, he need to move. Facts. But you know you got to do crazy baths. You know you got to try to, when they're not there, smoke out the house. You know you got to get something and spray the house. Listen, I'm big on spray bottles, right? Those same concoctions that I told you to clean the floor and beat the walls with, that beat the walls things is something where spirit is lingering, right? When it's to upkeep, I put stuff in a spray bottle. You go to the dollar store and get a spray bottle. Put that shit in the spray bottle. Same thing. I hit my walls, my ceilings, my closets. Make sure you get your corners. When you're smoking out your house, you have to make sure that your windows are open, your closet doors are open, and when you get to the front door, you open that bitch 3 times, open it and close it, and say, "Get your ass out my house." or something of the lines. But that's the energy that's coming with that. And remember, you're calling in your guides and your ancestors, so you're not doing this alone. It's going to feel hot than a motherfucker in there at that time, because nothing wants to leave. Did you say it's going to go? Are you steady that it's going to go? Are your people strong that it's going to go? Oh, then it's going to go. A spray bottle works. I hit my couches. I hit everything. My curtains, everything gets hit with that spray bottle. Please believe it. I keep a kit. There's always a kit. I keep some shit cold in my refrigerator at all times. At all times. Somebody coming here acting stupid. Hold up. You getting it too. You don't come to give us my threshold, no bullshit. You get spray. I'm not playing with you. Right. My sister Aqua Ashe got some rudimental spray that she sells. I keep that in my refrigerator. You know what I do with that spray? When I get candles, I buy them by the cases, right? Before I put them on my altars, I spray my candles. I need that rudimental to take all everybody's energies off that. Some people sit there, and I'll sit there with the whole box sometimes, and I'll do every candle at one time, and then I'll put them back in the box so that when I know when I'm lighting them for my altars, that they're already cleansed from the energy of whoever else has touched them prior to them coming to me, especially if it came from the dollar store, especially if it came from a botanica store. I keep that spray in my refrigerator. All my candles get it. Even the dollar candle, the little, every candle gets that. If I'm gonna light it, you think I'm lighting up the energy about the people who was touching on it? Oh, hell no. I am a nice, clean, white vessel of light. They would love to come in here and bounce off the energy that's going off. No. I got security. Y'all don't. Go get y'all that Aqua Ashe rudimental spray. I keep that in my refrigerator. I keep one in my purse as well. When I'm leaving spiritual settings, if I don't have no corn or beans or nothing of the natural element to clean myself with after I've left, I'll bust that bitch out my pocketbook and it's spray myself down. Rue is a cleanser and a sweet and a bitter herb. It cleans and it pulls. I'm asking for it to clean me at that moment, right? That's what she made it for, to clean your energy, to know anything that shouldn't be here, off with it. Right? You're supposed to clean your candles before lighting them. So that's why I keep that spray. I stay buying. And that's my sister. I buy that shit from her. Bitch, give me another bottle. I told her yesterday, I'm out. Run me my new bottle. I'm not playing with you. I need this. I don't got time to be making up no solution or concoction every time I get candles. You know how many times I get candles or something that I bring in from outside that needs to be cleansed? Oh, no. No. Y'all buy tarot cards. Y'all don't know how to charge these cards. Y'all don't even clean the cards before y'all bust them out. So when I'm doing a reading for somebody, really? Because you smoked the card off at least. Drop a little cascadilla, a little F1 on the card. That rudimental spray. Spray it on there. I need new, clean me. Only me. My energy. Y'all energy. Not Consuelo who packed the boxes and shipped the boxes and all of the people that touched it before it came to my door. It's spirit. Spirit is like dust balls. Energy is like dust. It leaves little traces, little residue. Don't touch my stuff. I have to clean it. I need it to work for me. I don't need none of your stuff on it. Please, people. Basics. Some of this stuff is basic. Y'all need to do all that, man. My energy been getting sucked up. Yeah, you should be cleaning any and everything spiritually based that comes into your house. Beat all the corners with Espanta Muerto. Hit it like it's 2020 in your Yes, and more yes. Clean it. Corners, dark spots, closets, places where dark energies can hide. You hit that hard. And Consuelo had an argument with her baby daddy before shipping those candles, right? And you sitting here talking about manifestation. You gonna manifest something, all right? An argument with your man. Because Consuelo energy and her baby daddy was fighting and you lit that candle. And now you and your man is fighting. You talking about what had happened. No, you didn't clean your candles, boo. I got 29 seconds remaining. I think I'm finished. Y'all ain't asked no questions. Y'all want me to come back? Tell me something. I think I'm done. If y'all got questions, ask them. I'll answer them if I can on this live. I hope y'all got something for this. This was Learning Tuesdays. Thank you for your energy. Thank you for your time. Peace and blessings, and clean your spiritual selves. Get yourselves together, please, and thank you.